Welcome back to Moto Italia. In the previous episodes, we've completed the assembly of the engine, gearbox, drivetrain, and both front and rear suspension. Everything is now in place, torqued to spec, and looking the part. Now it's time to start bringing the rest of the bike together, piece by piece. First, we're going to prep the rear fender. It's grey, faded, and a bit tired looking, showing its age like the rest of the bike once did. But we're going to bring it back to life and give it a deep, glossy black finish again. First, I clean the surface thoroughly using technical alcohol to remove any dirt and residue. Then I apply Autoglim Bumper Care, use a soft brush, working it evenly into the surface. Enjoy some fast-forwarded Italian detailing action as I brush it on.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto ad uncino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto ad uncino d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color. Non più avrai quei pennacchini, quel cappello.
Now I let it sit and soak in for about 30 minutes to allow the plastic to really absorb the treatment. Once the time is up, I wipe off the excess with a clean microfiber cloth. And the transformation is complete. Here you can see the before and after, a huge difference for just a few minutes of work. With that done, it's time to install the airbox, which has already been treated the same way. I wipe the airbox clean and dry, then install the inspection cover. Before mounting it to the bike, I install the two support screws that the front edge of the airbox will rest on. I apply aluminum anti-seize paste to the screws before tightening them, then fit the rubber cushions that the airbox will sit on. With that done, it's time to clean the intake boots thoroughly so they're ready for installation. Once everything is prepped, I place the airbox into position and begin the tricky part, sliding both intake boots into place. This takes a bit of finesse, since both boots need to seat simultaneously for everything to line up properly. Once the boots are in position, the next step is to secure the airbox to the frame using two screws at the very back of the unit. As soon as the airbox is bolted in place, I drop in a brand new air filter, place the filter frame over it and tighten down the airbox lid to seal everything up.
With the airbox and intake fully installed, it's time to shift focus to the rear section of the bike, starting with the taillight. I begin by thoroughly cleaning the taillight unit using window cleaner and a microfiber cloth. It's a quick and effective way to remove years of dust and grime, and it brings back a nice, clean surface without damaging the plastic. Next, I mount the taillight into the rear fender, securing it in place so that the whole assembly is ready to be installed back onto the frame. Before mounting the fender, I prepare the bolts and the strap brackets that will hold it in place. I've cleaned them thoroughly And now I apply aluminum anti-seize paste, both on the threads and on the conical surface between the bolt head and the strap bracket. This will make future removal easier and prevent corrosion between the dissimilar metals. With the hardware prepped, I guide the fender assembly into position on the subframe, making sure the rear light wiring is correctly routed and doesn't get pinched. Then I fasten the fender to the frame using the original bolts, 2 in the rear and 2 under the seat area. Next, I install the threaded clips in the rear of the subframe and screw in the Allen bolts that secure the back edge of the fender to the frame. Next up is the license plate holder. I start by test fitting the original one. And it goes straight in the trash, exactly where it belongs. It's bulky awkward and doesn't do this bike any favors. So instead, I jump into Fusion 360 to design a cleaner and more compact alternative. Here you can see some snapshots from the design process, just getting the dimensions right, making sure it'll line up with the existing mounting points. For this design, I'm using a caliper to get the measurements from the original part. I'm also integrating mounting for the tail light, turn signals, and the license plate light. I'm making this a 2-part design to improve printability, as I will be 3D printing this part in ASA plastic material. Once the design process is complete, I send the files to the 3D printer and start the print. After a few hours of printing, the parts are ready. Here you can see the finished piece, fully assembled with the license plate light, and turn signals. It's compact, clean, and looks way more appropriate for a bike like this. Now it's time to install the new Tidytail on the bike. As always, I take the opportunity to replace any ugly or rusty bolts with fresh stainless steel fasteners. And whenever I'm threading stainless bolts into standard steel components, I make sure to use aluminum anti-seize paste on the threads. This helps prevent galvanic corrosion and ensures everything can be removed easily in the future. With the hardware prepped, I bolt the new plate holder to the fender and route the wiring for the license plate light and indicators, placing everything in the correct position, ready for final connection later. That wraps up this episode. We've restored and mounted the rear fender, cleaned and installed the airbox and intake boots, and ditched the bulky stock license plate holder in favor of a sleeker, custom 3D printed Tidytail, complete with proper mounting for the light and indicators. In the next episode, we'll take care of all the electrical connections on the bike, both front and rear, and get the wiring harness fully prepped for final assembly. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay fast, stay classic, stay Italian.